Hello, this is Black Country Blokes chewing the fat.
Listen.
I've been hearing a lot lately about men don't talk, but in my experience, men do talk, just people aren't listening. So it's going to be me and a group of blokes discussing our struggles and victories through life. Warning, there may be some bad language, so apologies to all the moms, especially my own. Let's get going.
Listen.
This is Black Country Blokes chewing the fat with me, Kev Dillon and Lee Cadman. And today is World Mental Health Day. I said that right?
You have, mate.
Oh,
Bang
good.
on.
I've been practicing. And we've just come out today to say it's great that mental health is becoming more aware, but there's still a problem that men aren't talking, that people in general aren't talking enough, but especially us men. So for the last 12 months of being on, Aaron mainly was doing the cartoons, and we've released some over the last 12 months, and we thought we'd remind everyone of them. The first one is a phone call can save a life, and how important that is. For God's sake, as if this day couldn't get any worse. First lose my job, now I'm locked in. What am I? All I've ever been is a builder. For God's sake, the world just seems to have it out for me. I just can't seem to get a break. I just don't know what to do. Yes, I do. I know what I'll do. I'll get to the top of here, I'll take some tablets, and I'll just end it. I've had enough of everyone having to think about me. Let's do it. Alright, bruv. I was just about to. Thanks. I really need to hear your voice now. Remember, that phone call could save someone's life. And I think in this time where we're texting and emailing and DMs and all this, that phone call can really reach out and help. So please, if you know someone who's struggling, just have that 5-minute chat, or as long as it takes. Because it's one thing to talk, but it's another thing to listen. And I think that's what we do so much. Just because we hear something doesn't mean we're listening to it.
That's correct. And this is going to be more relevant as time goes on, especially with COVID still around and lockdown still happening, and people not being able to afford Christmas. So make that phone call.
And I think that is where we're going to be with the uncertainty of it closing again and losing jobs. And when a father can't provide a Christmas dinner or the new toys under the Christmas tree, it's going to hit so many of us so hard. So let's just care for one of each other, make a phone call, knock on a door, and whatever you can do. Our next video is the table of life, and now the poison and the antidote. Often when we're sat at the table of life, on our left we have the antidote, but on the right we have the poison. One has that meditation, that self-belief, that phone call. For any other, the booze, the drugs, the gambling. And how many times do we reach for the wrong chalice? Make choices that make you better. And how relevant is that, when we're in that dark place, and we know if I make that phone call that we've just been talking about, I'll be met with love, or if I did exercise or I do my meditation, I go from whatever it is, your antidote. But when we're in that funk, oh God, and the booze and the drugs and the sleeping around and all these things, the self-loathing, the gambling, we often reach for that instead of reaching for that, someone who loves you. So once again, have the courage to accept the help. And that is real courage, to pick up the phone to a friend or the Samaritans, or reaching out to one of the services and getting into counselling, because that's brave to do that. And I myself and Lee, we've had to do it. And by the grace of God, it's made us still here today to be a dad to my daughter and a husband to my wife and a coach to all the people up here. So you are worth it, and always remember that.
Yeah, exactly right, Kev. I can't really add a lot to that. It's just spot on. We need to help each other more, don't we? We need to check up on people. We need to be helping ourselves more. Find out what your medicine is and use it to your advantage.
Find your medicine. Our next one, there's no audio over it, so read and Leo gives some statistics, but this is once again about suicide.
Listen.
Now, this video was made just before the pandemic, and unfortunately, some of those numbers have gone up and up and up.
Well, we know already, it mentioned in that video that 16 suicides a day. It's higher already.
And I think when I've talked to professionals, we won't actually find out the devastating results until next year when those stats have come out.
Again, Kevin, in that video, it mentioned in 2018 that 6,507 suicides in that year. I dread to think what it's going to be when we're sitting here this time next year.
And this is a pandemic that we can, try and control, because every life's worth it. And as I'm going to say, and I'm going to say again, you are worth it. And even if you don't like the bloke who lives next door or whatever, and he keeps parking his car in front of your drive, wouldn't it be horrible if he took his life and there's someone without him being there? So even if you don't like the person, they're worth it. They're worth saving. And our next video, this was shared by England Boxing, and we did this during the through lockdown. And this it says Mental Health Awareness Week, but it's still relevant today. We are the Black Country Blokes, and this is Mental Health Awareness Week.
Together we can. Be the ears for every troubled whisper, or that whisper that you might need to hear.
Together we can bring peace to noise, light to dark, helping you to see things clearly.
Together we can be that reason to overcome, or be that smile on someone's face.
Together we can.
Take care of each other.
In every way.
Together we can save a life.
Together we can. And only when we're together we can make a change. The world evolves, our world evolves around us. But if we together, we can change the world, we can make it a better place, a less lonely place, a less painful place. So instead of beating each other up by getting some toilet roll in your local supermarket, give a little and you'll get so much more back. And through that lockdown, you can see how beautiful and wonderful my beard was. But we've got to remind ourselves to laugh, because every day, I know I've suffered with depression. If we can have that YouTube video, that your child making you smile, it gets us through even the darkest day. That's saying a single candle can light up the darkest cave.
Exactly right, Kev. We've got to look after each other, look out for each other, and keep it unified. There's a lot of division going on at the moment in the world, whether you believe in COVID, whether you don't believe in COVID, whether you believe in Black Lives Matter, whether you don't believe in it. But we all need to come together, because ultimately we're all on this planet just trying to get along and survive.
And I think with media and social media, they've done such a good job of getting us frightened, but realise on every corner of every street, there's miracles happening. Those people who, despite all the odds, are raising their families. Those people who are making efforts to help one another. Those people who are making phone calls to save lives. And don't let the media tell you any different. There's so many wonderful things happening all around the country and the world. So let's keep our focus on that. The miracles that are happening everywhere. So what I'm going to say today about suicide, a good friend who told me this when he was at his darkest. Suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Take care of yourselves and each other. Ta-ra a bit.
Listen.
And that's a wrap for another show. But if there are any comments or messages that you would like us to read out for our next podcast, please be in touch. There are also lots of different organisations at the bottom of this page, and hopefully they can help you or someone you care about. Please share this to spread the word. Until we talk next time, ta-ra a bit.